now it is my honor to introduce Pastor Jerry Redendo from Grace Presbyterian Church. He will deliver the invocation tonight. I will also, as I've done many times before, I will ask all who are able to please stand for tonight's invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance of our great country.
Thank you, Council. It's an honor to be here. And my name is Jerry Redendo. I serve as pastor of Grace Presbyterian Church in Dearborn. Thank you so much for having me. Let's pray. Almighty God, thank you for the members of the City Council before me. I thank you for the fact that you have raised them up to lead this city, to sacrifice for this city, and to love this city. God, we thank you for each member of this council, and I would pray that you would bring blessing to them in their individual lives. I pray that you would bless their families and give them health and protection. We know that most of them work outside of these council chambers, and so I pray that you would bless the work of their hands and make their labor fruitful. The most important prayer that I can pray for them this evening is this. I pray that you would draw each of them closer and closer to yourself, and that they would come to know you more and more and understand your immeasurable love that you offer them both tonight and all the days of their lives. Lord, we know that there is a great deal of work before the council this evening. Some of it is complex, some of it is tedious, some of it is emotionally charged. Most of it affects the lives of thousands of people. On some matters, there is unanimity. On others, disagreement. And so my prayer this evening for this council is that you would grant them wisdom. In James chapter 1, you give us an astounding promise that when we lack wisdom, we may ask you, and you give generously. And so we do that just now. Please, God, grant these men wisdom. Grant them patience and understanding and forbearance. Grant these things so that they can effectively do what you have called them to do, which is to lead and love the city. God, we know we can ask these things of you because no matter how much we love the city, and we do, we know that you love the city and her people even more, and you desire her well-being. Father, we pray all these things in Christ's holy name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Matt. All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the first item of business?
Item number 4 is a resolution by Council President Serini, supported unanimously, offering condolences to the family of Ronnie L. Chandler and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. We are deeply saddened by the passing of Ronnie Chandler, a resident of Dearborn, Michigan, who was born on July 16, 1944, and passed away on July 28th of this year at the age of 82 years old. Ron leaves behind his beloved wife, Sandy, his children, Amanda, Bridget, Katie, and Megan, his grandchildren, and many family members and friends who will forever cherish his memory. After attending Fortson High School, Ron's love for baseball led him to pursue a professional career as a pitcher from 1963 to 1970. Played in the minor leagues for several teams, dedicating himself to a sport that he loved. Following his baseball career, Ron briefly worked in the drywall industry before returning to school in 1976, where he went on to earn his bachelor's degree from the Wayne State University. After graduating, Ron built a successful career as a financial advisor for Sigma Financial. He was dedicated to helping others plan for their futures and was respected by his colleagues and clients for his integrity, wisdom, genuine commitment to helping others succeed. Above all, Ron cherished his family, and he shared an extraordinary marriage with his beloved wife, Sandy, a testament to a lifetime of love, devotion, and an unwavering commitment to family. Ron also had a gift of finding joy in the simple pleasures, such as a fresh cup of coffee, a good meal with his loved ones, and of course watching a baseball game and enjoying his nearby golf game. Ronnie Chandler will be remembered as a man who found happiness in every moment and everyday moments, and took great pleasure in sharing those moments with people that he cared about. His legacy lives on through the family, his family members that he cherished, and the many, many lives that he touched with kindness, integrity, generosity, and quiet leadership. We extend our deepest condolences to Sandy, his children, grandchildren, extended families, friends, and to all that had the privilege of knowing Mr. Chandler, as I always called him. And on a personal note, his wife taught every one of my children through elementary school. Tremendous people that believed in hard work, paying your dues, respecting others, and living a clean life. Tremendous man, and may he rest in eternal peace. A unanimous roll shall be attached. All right, Mr. Clerk, the next item will be public comment?
Correct.
All right, before we go to the public comment, I just want to give some ground rules that we do every meeting. The public comment under the term of the 34th council was changed to allow 30 minutes prior to our regular business items, which we will do here today. We have comment cards we'd like you to fill out. Unfortunately, we will only allow 30 minutes in the beginning of the meeting. Then after the business items, we will then pull the rest of the cards for those to speak. Kind reminder, we do not allow any outbursts. If you truly want to be heard, you need to be able to be heard by the council. We ask you, others that are in the audience, not to have any outbursts whatsoever. And just keep in mind also that you will have a 3-minute time limit. The clerk will let you know when there's 30 seconds remaining. And we will begin, Mr. Clerk, at 7:11.
Okay.
All right, so we do have some cards, and then those who did fill out a card, you will be called, but it will be at the end of the meeting if you don't make the first 10. All right, first we have is Miss Cheryl Cooper. Good. All right. Okay, so we don't have Cheryl. Miss Pamela Stokes. Just keep in mind, folks, the microphone is in one spot. Is there a pathway? Is there a pathway through this side? Yeah.
Excuse me?
If we can, yeah, or from the rear, yeah. Is the rear close better access to go around? All right, so if anybody's on this side of us, if they like, yeah, just just trying to go around and get to Ms. Stokes, thank you for being here. You may proceed.
Is this okay? Can you hear okay?
Excellent.
Okay. Esteemed council members, mayor, my name is Paula Hamilton Stokes, and I reside on Linden Street in Dearborn. I am here this evening to show support for my beloved hometown, and I thank you for the privilege of your time. Dearborn has one of the most diverse populations in our country, and I will not stand idly by as outsiders attempt to sow division and hate. They would have you believe our city is under siege. This is no more than an attempt to stoke fear and could not be further from the truth. I have served 3 different mayors, and I was blessed to be mentored by each one, making me the woman I am today. Strong, confident, and incapable of backing down when I see injustice. Dearborn has always been there for me, and I remain grateful. Some of the kindest, caring, and open-minded people I have ever known live right here. We share our differences. We do not fear them. God bless you, dear neighbors.
Thank you. We have Pastor Lorenzo Sewell.
My name is Pastor Lorenzo Sewell. I have the honor and the privilege of being the senior pastor of 180 Church, where President Donald Trump came for his birthday weekend. It was there that I had an opportunity to pray over the president. And it was at that moment that he told me I would pray at the inauguration and I would be able to preach at the rededication The reason why I'm here today, because Dearborn, in all of your prosperity and everything that you've done, the spirit of Hubbard is still in this city. The spirit of racism still dwells in this city. This is a city that has prospered with your mosque and your call to prayer. But yet it's on the back of my people. It's on the back of black people that we have funded everything you do. You look down on us. Your police enact injustice on us. And when Jake Lane talked about Jesus, he was assaulted because you are not up under American law. You are up under Sharia law. That is the reason why you have made no arrest. You laugh. You are 3 generations of racism in this very city. You know it. You have seen what has happened in this city. And it is my people that have funded you. It's my people that made sure that you have what you have. And you spit on us. You degrade us. But you're only 1% of this nation. We are not a nation of Muslims. We are a nation of Christians. We are one nation under God, indivisible, the God of the Bible, the God of the Lord Jesus Christ. That's the God in whom we serve. I want you to prove to me we're not up under Sharia law. Will you denounce, Councilman O'Reilly, will you denounce Sharia law? Will you denounce Sharia law? Will you I know you won't. Will you denounce Sharia law? Abraham, you went to Hillsdale. Will you renounce Sharia law? Will you renounce Sharia law? America, we have lost this city. This is a city that is no longer up under American laws. We are up under Sharia law, and we will not have it anymore. Enough is enough.
I just would like to remind everyone, there is a microphone system in the city of Dearborn. We can afford one. So when you're speaking, if you like to raise your voice, guys, you can, but it's not doing anything else. So we're gonna give you a warning, speak. We can hear you, we want you to be heard. We understand passion, we're all about passion, but keep in mind that be respectful of the people that are here that want to be heard. So please try to contain yourself if you can. Can we have our Sam Bidou?
Good evening, Mayor Hammoud, members of the City Council, City Clerk Deraney, my fellow Dearborn residents and non-residents. Tonight, I speak not only as a resident and your Wayne County Commissioner, but as someone who has been selling real estate in Dearborn for 4 decades. For the last 40 years, I have witnessed firsthand the transformation of this great and diverse city. I have watched families build their lives here, businesses grow, neighborhoods change, and generations come together to make Dearborn the community it is today. And that is why I want to say this very clearly. Dearborn is America. The Constitution of the United States is the highest law of the land, not the law of any religion. It protects every one of us, whether we pray in a mosque, a church, a synagogue, or somewhere else. To those who came to Dearborn looking to spread fear and division, I say to you, come see the real Dearborn. Look at our neighborhoods, our businesses, our schools, and our houses of worship. You will see people from different backgrounds living, working, worshiping, and raising their families together. You will see a nativity tradition that has been part of this great community for more than 70 years. You will see businesses selling pork products. You will see religious freedom in action. That is not Sharia law. That is America. And those who came here intending to desecrate the Quran, to provoke or insult our community, understand this. Muslims honor Jesus Christ, Mary, and Moses, peace be upon them. Jesus is honored throughout the Quran. Maryam, is so deeply honored that an entire chapter is named after her. and Moses is mentioned more than any other prophet, 136 times. Those figures are not strangers to Muslims. They are part of our faith. You have the constitutional right to disagree with us, protest peacefully, and speak your mind. And we have those same rights to worship, to speak, to assemble, and to live our faith openly. Let me tell you who the people of Dearborn are. We are doctors, teachers, judges, lawyers, business owners, police officers, public servants, first responders, and members of the United States Armed Forces. We pay our taxes, we create jobs, we educate our children, we care for our neighbors. We came from different places, but we built something together. That is the beauty of America. So to anyone who comes to Dearborn looking for division, I say, you may not understand us, but you will not define us.
We have 30 seconds.
You may try to divide us, but you will not succeed. We are Americans, we are proud of our heritage. Come to Dearborn peacefully, come respectfully, exercise your First Amendment rights, and we will defend your right to do so. But don't mistake our diversity for division or our faith for something foreign to America. Dearborn is America, the Constitution is our law, our diversity is our strength, and once again, we don't have Sharia law in Dearborn. We have shawarma law. And we proudly claim some of the best shawarma outside the Middle East. We have some of the best shawarma outside the Middle East, so try some while you are here. Thank you. May God bless Dearborn, and may God bless the United States of America.
All right, thank you, Mr. David. Next we have Mr. Eric McGo. Murgo. Sorry about that.
All right. Now I'm listening to you guys come up here. You guys want to talk about how you're being honest and you're speaking from the heart. Not one of you people that come here and speak without a freaking script in your hands, word for word reading it. You got a mayor that tells an American citizen that he cannot be welcome in Dearborn, Michigan if he doesn't want a damn terrorist on the name of a street. You got members of the board over there laughing at American citizens when they're concerned about Sharia law and the Muslims that are telling us we're going to take over your city. We have Hassan Piker saying we're going to do things to your women. And we're saying, oh, this is peaceful? That you people came here to give us peace? You guys came here to conquer us. This is the Crusades all over again. You're going to think you're going to take this country without firing a shot? How about this? How about the American citizens say, no, you're not going to do this. Right. We're going to stand up. We're going to tell you, everybody here, from felons to normal people, Bible thumpers, little grannies everywhere, tell this Muslim invasion you're not going to happen in the United States of America, not while Christian crusaders are standing here blocking you. That's all I got to say. God bless. God bless.
My name is Joseph Barajo, citizen of the good city of Dearborn. I'm a professional in the sense of teaching history, writing history, and reading history. And I'd like to say that there was a formidable year in the 7th century when a new country came aboard. It was the country Russia. And the equivalent of George Washington, Vladimir, wanted to consolidate this new country of his by adopting a religion. He first went to Christianity, but the schism, the differences between Rome and Orthodox Eastern Orthodox, made him shy away from it. He didn't want anything to do with this kind of a trouble. He looked at Islam, but he had to defer from it too because his people love drinking vodka. So he looked at Judaism and he said, yeah, this is the right religion for my people. And a Turco-Finnish nomadic tribe out of Kiev, Ukraine, opted to become Jews, or Judaism, adopted Judaism. They're not necessarily Jews because these were people that were not Semitic people. They were not, had no direct historical connection to Palestine. And the descendants of these people became the Ashkenazi Jews who ruled apartheid Israel. The same context with them. They're not a Semitic people. They have no historical connection to Palestine. And it's the same group that's responsible for systematically murdering 79,000 Palestinian Semitic people, 20,000 of whom were children. And it's documented that the IDF actually turned off fuel to incubators that killed and suffocated Palestinian children to death. You talk about evil, raw, pure evil, unforgettable evil. That was it. Well, at any rate, it's notable about one thing too. There was a comment made in the last council meeting I attended. The quote was, "What is Israel to do?" I'm here to tell Israel what to do. You need to give back the land that you took from the Palestinian people, the Semitic. You need to give it back to the Sephardic Jews who were Semitic to the, and that were a part of that whole thing. All right, I'm closing out with this brief statement. The Constitution of the United States is national law. There's a section dealing with the freedom of religion, all religions in this country, and that involves Islam. And I say this to the xenophobes, the anthrophobes, and the Islamophobes. I have one thing to say to you. You can take your hateful, black-hearted ways and shove it up where the sun doesn't shine. Thank you.
Next speaker, Jake.
Oh, geez, the little boy's gonna get too excited. I can't listen to Jake. Jake, listen to me.
Quoting from the Holy Book.
There's no books or props allowed, so you either put
No
it down.
Qurans in Dearborn?
You got 1 second.
That's a
and you
violation
do
of
what
the-
you wanna do.
I was told
Put it
that.
down, or you're gonna be, there's no book, no paraphernalia. That's the council rule.
That's a violation of the
Let's go.
For 3 years straight, the #1 name in the country of England for newborn babies is Muhammad. Tell me that white Christians are not being invaded. How can you lie to our faces with your taqiyya? This is an invasion on all fronts. Our people are being pushed out of the workplace. We're being pushed out of city councils. That smug face of the taqiyya Muslims needs to be wiped off these people's faces. These people are looking to destroy us. These people are looking to outbreed us. The Muslims have not come here to assimilate. They have come here to steal the wealth of this land, to rape our women. What about the 250,000 women in England that were raped by Pakistani Muslims and they got little slaps on the wrist from the woke Democratic regime? The Muslims are being used by the Democrats to instill socialism in America. We know it. Look at all of your top Muslim leaders. They all pander to homosexuality, the trans agenda, and to socialism. You're fake Muslims. You're just using the Democrats, these woke liberal idiots, the women in New York, to gain power. And once the Muslims have power in this country, then they will start throwing the homosexuals off the roofs,
just like they do in Palestine. You guys all cry about Palestine. Try being a white Christian man preaching the word of God in Palestine. Guess what might happen to you? The same thing that happened to me here in Dearborn, Michigan. You will be stoned for saying the name of Jesus Christ in Palestine, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in Iraq. Jesus Christ is outlawed in those countries, and we will stand. The crusade has begun. Your time in this country is running short. The time of stealing from the Detroit black Christian Americans is over. It's over. Muslims, go home before we send you home. We have cruise ships, we have planes, we have trains, and we're going to pack them out with all of the Arabs. You have to go home. We don't want you here. Our founding fathers gave this country to their posterity. White Christians, and they brought along with them their black friends, and now we're here to reclaim America for the blacks and the white people and the Spanish. We will not allow these third world mongrels to run roughshod over us without a fight. The body of Christ is one. If you are in Christ, you are my brother. If you stand against Islam, you are my brother. If you are willing to stand up and take this country back, you are my brother. Join the crusades and extricate this filth from our country. We will have our way. Come blood or sweat, we will have our way. This is a Christian land. Christ is King. 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 Enough is enough. That's our King. Stand up. Fight back. Stop the Russian horde from conquering our nation. Through hell or high water, we will declare our great nation.
He's got it.
Council rules are asking you to leave.
Good evening, Council. I'm disappointed that we continue, and there are folks that continue to stand behind this guy, Jake Lang, a man who tried to sleep with a 15-year-old, who defends a pedophile like Donald Trump, who stands up for Jeffrey Epstein. Somebody who wants to question how American we are, yet sells our country out every single day in the White House. I understand the clicks are nice and the headlines are nice, but this is an American city. And when you go and bring this type of hate and rhetoric to this city, have a nice day, sir, to this city, all you're doing is dividing this neighborhood, and you're dividing our community. You can do that where you are. Don't come here. Because Dearborn is a shining beacon of unity and coexistence. We're a place where neighbors check in on neighbors, where they share meals over fence lines, where they stand together and they support each other. But if folks want to come here and preach hate and division, bring their ARs and their drum magazines, and stand in the face of little children at the school on Ford Road, the ICA, or walk and terrorize the church next door, don't come here. Plainly. Because this is a city where we believe in coexistence and unity, where we believe that to be American is about the values you preach and believe and stand for, and not about your religion or birthplace. That is what it is to be American. That is why our founding fathers gave us a Constitution and Bill of Rights that protects your freedom of speech just as much as our freedom of religion. This is a city where we build the best-selling pickup truck in the world, the F-150. We root for the Lions on Sunday and the Tigers when they play. We love America. But to question our Americanness and how much we will defend and die for this country when we have service members up on that dais, when we have service members in our military, is unacceptable. Take the time and learn about your neighbors. Don't follow the clickbait. Don't follow the attention. Don't follow these paid agitators, paid by Donald Trump and the Republican Party, paid to preach hate and divide neighbors, because they got an election that they're going to get sent packing in.
Next speaker we
Thank you, distinguished councilmen and mayor. I just want to start out by saying the measure of a man isn't how loud he can shout, especially when he's shouting out nonsense, because even a donkey can shout very loud. But at the end of the day, he's still just a donkey. So I just have one thing that I would like to say in regards to Jake Lang and Pastor Lorenzo. First, let's start with Lorenzo. He gave a very eloquent, impassioned speech that didn't make any sense, because he said that the poor black people of Dearborn, for which he does not represent because he doesn't live here, his church is not here, are oppressed by Arabs doing well in this community. Well, I'm not even from this community. I came here today. I have ventured all throughout this entire community, and you know what I didn't see? I didn't see any signs that said Arabs only or whites only. I seen black business owners. I seen black people driving nice cars in this city. And I just have one thing to say to you. Since you're so obsessed with gas stations, Pastor Lorenzo, why don't you take some of that Israeli money and buy a gas station and give it to your black neighbors? How about that? Now, I have one other thing that I need to say here, and that is when it comes to Jake Lang. Jake Lang loves to proclaim that he is a crusader against Muslims. Jake Lang loves to wear Timu armor without any plates in him to pretend that he's a soldier when he never served in the United States military. Jake Lang is such a tough guy, then I have a suggestion for the council to take into consideration. I'm from Las Vegas. Go Raiders, by the way. I feel sorry for your Detroit Lions because we're going to be better this year. With that being said, since Jake Lang loves Dearborn so much, I challenge him to face me in the ring in 90 days right here in Dearborn, Michigan, where we can sell tickets that will benefit the city of Dearborn. And if he wants to put hands on a Muslim, let him do it to me, a white, red-blooded American Muslim. That's all I got to say. Jake Lang, I know you can hear me, and if you can't, I know you'll see my video because you follow me.
Thank you, Council. My fellow neighbors, my name is Robert Plowski. I am from Southgate, born and raised in Wayne County, Michigan. I am not 10 minutes from Dearborn. I am close to Dearborn. I spend my money, resources, and support our community. And I stand in solidarity with all of our residents, elected officials, mayor, and city council. This city is a beacon of hope. You have amazing administration, all the way from Mayor Hamoud to our city council president, Serini, and our wonderful chief of police, Issa Shaheen. It would be my dream to have leadership like you in my community. But most of all, we are the future. We built the F-150. We're home to Ford. But most of all, we are home to a community of diverse people. We have the most diverse smart bus lines here in our community that transport people back and forth from downtown to the airport. 2, we have the best food in the entire United States of America. And 3, we have the amazing group of people that are working class just like us. And if Jake Lang can see me, which I know he will watch this video, be scared, because us Americans, we are the future, and we are not going anywhere. So speak up, speak your heart, but most of all, no hate is allowed here, and solidarity with you all. But don't forget that Dearborn is the future. May God bless America, and God bless United States of America and Dearborn.
Dear esteemed council and mayor,
All right, folks, we have the speaker ready to speak. All right, let the officers just make sure they're on people, now that we have room for others that may want to come in, please make sure there's afforded the opportunity for some others to come in. Probably about 15 or 20 seats. All right, sir, sorry, I apologize.
that's okay. I guess they just didn't want to hear the truth that I'm about to unveil.
You may begin.
Thank you. My name is Ronald Dwyer. I'm actually the president of American Council for Interfaith and Cultural Relations. My organization works with Christians and Muslims, bringing them together. We also work with Native Americans and people of other faiths. That being said, I was involved in kind of what brought up this brouhaha on August 2nd. I worked with Sheikh Hasham, who we put together the Arbeen Festival, which is the festival that honors Imam Hussein. And the reason I got involved, I'm an Irish Catholic, the reason I got involved is there's a lot of mixing between Christians and Muslims throughout history. In fact, if you study Imam Hussein's story, he was a hero that stood up against an evil caliphate and gave up all riches, defended truth and honor, and lost his life because of it. That's what everybody was celebrating. They honor this man every year annually. And I was proud to be a part of this event now through my organization, bringing Christians and Muslims together. And I want to say something. Pastor, I see you left. I guess he couldn't handle the truth either. He's got a church of 12 people, so do a little research on him. He kind of stole the church from the previous congregation. But anyways, what I'm saying is there's a lot of mixing between Christians and Muslims. Muslims believe a lot of the same things Christians do. They believe in Jesus as the Messiah, born of the Virgin Mary, and that he will come again at the end of time. Mary is honored, like Councilman or Commissioner Beydoun said. Mary is mentioned in a chapter in the Quran. There's a lot of mixing. Muslims and Christians, if people just started studying and getting to know one another, you would see that we are a lot alike. Okay, we have maybe a few little differences in beliefs, but truthfully, we have a lot more in common than we do in difference. And I want to say another thing too, even though I'm part of an interfaith organization that I am president of. Pastor Silwell and another person, I don't mean any disrespect, but there are a split. Just like there is in the Democrat Party, there's a split in the Republican Party. And the Republican Party had nothing, I'm a Republican, I serve on the 11th Congressional District, had nothing to do with this event. In fact, many of the vice chairs came out and spoke out against this. They said this is not what we wanted to do. I'm sorry?
You have 30 seconds.
Oh, 30 seconds? Okay. So I want people to know that too, that don't hate every Republican. I don't hate every Democrat. Look, I'm a Republican, Sam Beydoun is a Democrat. I consider Sam a friend. Look, after I finish this speech here, I'm going to come down and shake Abdullah Hamoud's hand, okay? You know what? He's got a lot of unfair treatment. He got beaten up because he chastised a guy that has been a known problem in the city.
Has expired.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to shake your hand.
Thank you. All right, at this time we have completed our 30 minutes. Mr. Square, is that correct? Yes. Okay, the council rules completed our first council speaking opportunity that we have now at the end of the meeting once we complete our business agenda items. Anyone here cares to wait to the end, and then they will be called in the cards, and we will call you out. Okay? If you are leaving, sir, there's no outburst. Okay? If you have, Connie. Gentleman has a question, see if you know. He'll have one. Okay? And just keep in mind, if you are leaving the auditorium, just to try to do it in an orderly manner. All right, at this time, before we move on to our consent agenda, are there any items of which any member will wish to remove from the consent agenda and discuss individually? All right, hearing none, Mr. Clerk, can we proceed?
Item number 6 is a resolution in need of offer and support approving all the items on the consent.
Right here, offer. Councilman Abraham?
Councilman Enos.
Enos, okay. We have an offer by Councilman Enos, supported by Councilman Robert Abraham. All right, Mr. Clerk, can we have the roll call?
Council President.
Yes, sir. All right, we do have an offer and support for this item. We're going to pause real quick. Mayor, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Before we get into the agenda, I wanted to take a moment just to offer some reflections and some words over the events that have unfolded. I actually would like to share a story regarding a moment that happened earlier today. I was out on one of our neighborhood walks, and for those who follow me on social media or follow the work in the city, we do many neighborhood walks week in and week out, especially throughout the summer. It was an ordinary morning in Dearborn, just like any other day. Residents were outside, we're talking about sidewalks and tree stumps and property maintenance issues, all the things that make up the everyday work of building a city. And while we were at the park, a group of children walked up. And amongst them was a young boy, not older than 6 or 7. And he looked at me and he asked if the quote-unquote crusaders that were coming to kill him. And I paused. I paused longer than I probably should have, long enough for the neighborhood police officer that was with us to actually interject and to assure the young child that he would be safe, that he should go about his day and enjoy the park like he would any other day. I paused because I never expected that question. And as a father, I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Children that age should be thinking about what game they're going to the park to play. They should be thinking about whether they can have another scoop of ice cream at the end of the night. They should be wondering if they'll get an extra hour before time for bed. They should not be wondering whether someone wants to kill them because of how their family prays. But our children are listening. They hear our conversations, they see the headlines, and they notice when their parents are worried. And that little boy reminded me that what is happening outside is not just political fear. Fear has consequences. So tonight, I want to speak directly to him. And I want to speak to every resident of Dearborn who has felt that fear. I want to boldly say that you belong here. That you belong here as much as anyone else. And generations of people who built this city prove it. Dearborn was built by people with different names, different accents, different traditions, and different ways of worshiping God. Some trace their roots here generations. Others arrived with little more than a suitcase and hope. They worked the assembly lines, they opened small businesses, they taught our children, they have served our country, they built houses of worship. They built homes next to people who did not look like them, and somewhere along the way, strangers became neighbors, they shared a meal across the fence line. That is Dearborn, and that is the story of America. Yesterday, I stood alongside Christian clergy from across our city. People whose theological traditions may be different, but whose message yesterday was remarkably similar. Love thy neighbor. Care for the vulnerable. Feed the hungry. Welcome the stranger. And stand against hatred. Dearborn is home to more than 30 churches and roughly a dozen mosques. And each and every single week, tens of thousands of people walk through those doors to participate with their congregations. They may pray differently, but they pray for many of the same things. For their children to be safe, for their families to be healthy, for peace, for justice, for dignity, for the strength to leave this world a little better than they inherited. So when people portray Dearborn as some place that have been overtaken by Muslims, they aren't simply attacking our Muslim and Arab communities. They're also trying to erase our Christian brothers and sisters who have contributed immeasurably to the city, and folks of other faiths, of other backgrounds, or of no faith at all, who have all contributed to the Dearborn that we all love and cherish today. And ultimately, they're attacking something much larger than any one faith or community. They are attacking the idea that all of us can belong to America at the same time. There are people outside tonight whose idea of America is much smaller than ours. An America where belonging comes with conditions, where your name matters,
where your ancestry matters, where the direction in which you pray somehow determines whether you are sufficiently American. I reject that vision for our country, because what matters is not the articles of your faith. What matters is the content of your character, the kindness in your heart. Do you provide for your family? Do you check in on your neighbor? Do you help someone when they're struggling? And do you leave your community better than how you found it? Those are the things by which we should measure one another. I've always believed that there is something exceptional about the American experiment. Not because Americans are inherently better than anybody else, but because of the audacity of the promise that we have all made to one another. That people could come here from every corner of the earth, carrying different stories and traditions, worshiping God differently or not at all, and somehow build one country together. That promise has never been perfectly fulfilled, but every generation has had to fight to make it more real, and now it is our turn to carry on that fight. Tonight, the choice before us is actually quite simple. We can allow fear to make our lives smaller, or we can allow community to make us stronger. I know some families are afraid right now. Many families have reached out and told me how they have changed their plans for the day. Practices for youth football have been canceled. My daughter was not taken to daycare today. Some parents kept their children at home, wanted them a little closer. Some residents decided not to open up their business stores today because of the events unfolding. And I understand that instinct. But we cannot surrender our everyday lives to someone else's hatred. Our police officers are doing their jobs. I will do my job. This council will do its job. They are protecting this community and protecting the constitutional rights of everyone in it. So let them do their job, and you live your life. Let the kids chase each other at the splash pad. Play another game of soccer, grab coffee with a friend. Fire up that grill and open up your business tomorrow morning. Sit on the porch with your neighbor, break bread and share in that meal. Visit your parents. Go to church on Sunday, go to the synagogue on Saturday, go to the mosque on Friday, or sit at home. Pray exactly as you have always prayed. Don't bother changing for anyone, because the greatest victory we can hand those who seek to divide us would be allowing them to convince us to be afraid of being ourselves. And we will not give them that victory. Instead, we're going to do what Dearborn has always done. We're going to keep opening our doors, because one of the most powerful antidotes to fear is simply knowing one another. I've met people over the years who have come to Dearborn genuinely nervous. They have watched something on television, they've read something online, or followed some of the comedians that were here earlier. Heard someone describe the city as a place that they should fear. And then they came here. They walked our neighborhoods. They met our residents. Someone welcomed them into their businesses. Someone started the conversation, and ultimately, as is the tradition in Dearborn, put a meal in front of them. And somewhere between that first handshake and the last bite of that meal, something changed. The caricature of who we are disappeared and dissipated. Because a stranger became a person, and fear gave way to understanding, because hatred needs distance. It needs us to remain strangers. Community closes that distance, so that anyone watching tonight who doesn't know Dearborn, but thinks they know Dearborn, I have an invitation for you. Come visit us. Come experience this city and come experience this community. And most importantly, come break bread with us. Ask questions. Tell us your story. And listen to ours. Our doors are open. Our table has room, because the longer the table, the stronger the table. Dearborn welcomes everybody, and that will not change under our watch. And to that little boy that I met this morning, I want you to go be a kid. Go play with your friends. Laugh too loudly. Get in trouble at home. Push the time limit at which you have to come back to the house. Because the response to those who believe America's promise should belong to fewer people is not for us to retreat into our homes or make ourselves smaller. It is to demonstrate each and every single day just how beautiful America can be when that promise belongs to each and every single one of us. This is the Dearborn that we will protect, and that is the Dearborn that we will pass on to generations and generations. God bless this city. God bless the most beautiful people I've ever met who reside in the city, who patronize the city, and God bless this country.
Mr. Clerk, you had to offer support on resolution number 6. Can we have a roll call vote?
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud. Councilmember Al-Sawafi.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
7 yeas, the resolution passes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have the next item of business?
We will move on to item number 31, resolution by Council Members Paris and O'Reilly approving the minutes of the previous special open meeting of July 22nd, 2026.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Mr. Clerk, are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? All right. Hearing and seeing none. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 32, resolution by Council Members O'Reilly and Paris approving the minutes of the previous regular meeting of July 14th, 2026. Open meeting, the previous regular meeting of July 26th.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Are there any additions, deletions, or modifications to these minutes? Any objection to unanimous roll? The unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 33 is an ordinance on the table, ordinance number 26-1870, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 18 entitled 1A Light Industrial District and Article 22 entitled TR Technology and Research District. Resolution by Council Members Al-Sawafi and O'Reilly to take from the table for its final reading.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Unanimous roll shall be attached to take from the table for its final reading. The Planning and Zoning Division is proposing an amendment to the City of Dearborn zoning ordinance regarding the use of classification of data processing. Due to the rapid technology advancements, modern data centers have evolved into high density and intense industrial facilities that are no longer compatible with the way data processing is currently classified in our zoning ordinance. As presently written, these facilities may be permitted under the existing data processing use classification despite their large-scale site design and potential impacts of surrounding properties, which are inconsistent with the purpose of the intent of the city zoning regulations. The proposed amendment updates the zoning ordinance by removing data processing as a permitted use in industrial A, light industry, and TR, which is technology research districts. Under the amendment, the data centers would be instead permitted in the industrial D, which is general industrial district, where all uses are not expressly prohibited by the ordinance that are allowed. This is the second and final reading. Is there any questions or comments on this item? Councilman Hamud.
I do want to thank the Planning and Zoning Department, the administration, for being proactive on this. I know it was a permitted use, and I think it's good that we're cleaning it up now, so we don't end up with hyperscale data centers where we don't intend to, if we were ever going to allow them. Right now, it's really loosey-goosey, and this is a good way to clean it up, so thank you guys.
Any other questions or comments? All right, Mr. Clerk, we need the final reading.
Yes, this is the final reading of ordinance number 26-1870, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Dearborn by amending Article 18.00 entitled 1A Light Industrial District and Article 22 entitled TR Technology and Research District.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have a roll call vote?
We'll start with Councilmember Paris.
Yes.
Councilmember Abraham.
Yes.
Councilmember Hamud.
Yes.
Councilmember Al-Sawafi.
Yes.
Council President Sereni.
Yes.
Councilmember O'Reilly.
Yes.
Councilmember Enos.
Yes.
7 yeas, the ordinance passes.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Can we have the next item?
Item 34, a resolution by Council Members Abraham and O'Reilly authorizing the use and closure of West Village Drive between the east and west parking decks adjacent to Peace Park West, and the use of the closure of the basement level within both the east and west parking structure in the West Dearborn Downtown Development Authority from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday, September 25th for the Dearborn Coffee Week opening event. Also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event, and that these approvals be extended to be rescheduled to a rescheduled date if needed, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The West Dearborn Downtown Development Authority is requesting approval for a street closure, parking deck, spot closures, and noise ordinance waiver for Dearborn Coffee Week opening. The event will begin on September 25th of this year. Specifically, the WDDDA requests a street closure on West Village Drive between east and west decks, adjacent to the park at Peace Park West from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on September 25th. They're also requesting closure of the basement level of the east-west parking decks for dedicated vendor service for the same time and same date, and also requesting noise waiver on the same day as well. Additionally, is being requested approval to be extended for a rescheduling date if the event is canceled due to weather. Immediate effect is being requested to begin the planning for the fall season as it's coming right around. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? A unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 35, resolution by council members O'Reilly and Paris, authorizing the use of local West Village Drive between east and west parking structures and closure of the basement of the east parking deck from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Saturday, December 12, 2026, for the West Dearborn Downtown Development Authority's annual Jingle Bell Bash event. Also, granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event, and that these approvals be extended to a rescheduled date if needed, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is similar to the last ordinance, the last resolution that went through West Downtown, the West EDA, and our Jingle Bash for December 12th, 2026, with closures of both the parking deck, the West Village Drive, and as well as the noise ordinance as well. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? The unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 36, resolution by council members Paris and O'Reilly, authorizing a sole source purchase from Oakland County in the amount of $226,000 for the membership and maintenance fees for Clemens Mobile Data Computer System for fiscal year 2026 for the fire and police departments, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city's police department and fire department are active users of the Clemens program, which are recently, which was recently run by the Oakland County and has now been constituted into an independent public agency. The membership usage rates are based on the number of full-time equivalent sworn officers and users at each agency. The costs of the system are shared by all users with rates set by the Clemens Advisory Committee Board. The use of Clemens program is essential to the operation of both the police and fire department. Police department, fire department, in conjunction with purchasing, is recommending a sole source purchase of this membership with maintenance fees in the amount of $226,000, and is requesting immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 37, resolution by council members O'Reilly and Al-Salafi, awarding a contract to DMC Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $1,952,353 for construction services for fire department station renovations.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The City of Dearborn operates 4 fire department stations inside of our borders with interior updates and modernization to support continued service for our community. The following completion and design phase bids were solicited for construction of fire stations 1, 2, 3, and 4. The project includes all necessary demolition, removal, label, materials, and associated with the renovations. Purchasing on behalf of the fire department recommends awarding the contract to DMC Consultants Incorporated with the lowest responsive and responsible bid in the amount of $1,952,353. Any questions or comments on this? Right. Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 38 is a resolution by council members Paris and O'Reilly approving the fiscal year 2027 SMART Municipal and Community Credit contract in the total amount of $345,813.21, and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The City of Dearborn partners with SMART to provide transportation service for Dearborn residents within the city. During a typical week, the program provides curb-to-curb transportation to approximately 200 seniors and individuals with disabilities each week. The service operates Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the cost of only $1 each way, $2 for a round trip. No resident is denied transportation due to financial hardship as well. In addition, the Dearborn seniors age 65 and older who provide valid proof of residency are eligible to receive free bus tickets established by our SMART routes. Any questions or comments? Great program here in Dearborn. We need more people to take advantage of that. Any objection to unanimous roll? All right, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 39, resolution by council members Mahmood and Paris granting the request of the UAW Local 600 to host its All-American Classic Car Show event in the parking lot located at 10550 Dix on Saturday, August 29th, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. with assistance from the police department for temporary road closures on Fernie and Dix and Fernie and Verner. Also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The UAW Local 600 is requesting approval to host the UAW All-American Classic Car Show on Saturday, August 29, 2026, from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. The event is intended to celebrate Dearborn's rich automotive heritage, while bringing residents and visitors together with a goal of establishing the car show as an annual traditional event through the city, and particularly in the South End community. To ensure the safety of the attendees, the UAW and Local 600 is requesting temporary road closures that will receive from the City of Dearborn as well as from Wayne County as well. There's also requests for immediate effect and a noise ordinance waiver. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 40 is a resolution by Council Members O'Reilly and El-Sawafi granting the request of the UAW Local 600 to host its annual Trunk or Treat event in the parking lot located at 10550 Dix on Saturday, October 24th, 2026 from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. with assistance from the Police Department for temporary road closures at Fernie and Dix and Fernie and Verner, also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The UAW Local 600 is also requesting to host its annual Trunk or Treat on Saturday, October 24th of this year at 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. For all safety and attendees, they're requesting authorization of road closures and intersections of Fernie and Dix, as well as Fernie and Verner for the duration of the event. It is noted that the Wayne County will also provide a separate permit for those road closures. Additionally, they're requesting a noise ordinance waiver for the duration of the event with immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 41, resolution by Council Members Abraham and El-Sawafi granting the request of Zaman International to conduct its 17th annual Zaman Run, Walk, and Picnic on Saturday, September 19, 2026 from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., resulting in the temporary use and closure of the northbound lane of Brady Street between Cherry Hill and the River Rouge Gateway Trail, subject to the reimbursement for city services, all applicable ordinances, and the rules and regulations of the police department, also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. This is the 17th time you read this, and it's Zaman Fun Rock. Well, we got it. Sometimes we have to get that correct. Zaman Run and Walk Picnic, 17th year, tremendous organization. It is on Saturday, September 19, 2026, with the setup beginning at 8 a.m. and a teardown at 2 p.m. Approximately 2,000 attendees are expected. This event will have a 5K run, opening ceremonies, a 5K walk, 2 kids runs, and a community picnic. All proceeds will go to Zaman for its programs assisting families experience extreme poverty throughout the southeastern Michigan. A waiver of noise ordinance is also being requested. Any questions or comments? Councilman Al-Sawafi.
Thank you, Council President. This is a great event. I go every year. You have options. You can run, walk, or go to the picnic. Full disclosure, I'm going to skip straight to the picnic this year.
You ran once, though. Yeah, you did run, yeah.
But this year is great.
This year's straight to the picnic. It's a great event, folks. They do tremendous work in our community, and we'd like to thank them. Any other questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 42, resolution by Council Members O'Reilly and Paris granting the request of Dearborn High School to conduct its annual homecoming parade on Friday, September 25th, 2026 from 4:45 p.m. to 5:30 p.m., subject to all applicable ordinances and the rules and regulations of the police department, also granting a noise waiver for the duration of the event and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. Dearborn High School is requesting the approval to host its annual homecoming parade on Friday, September 25th, 2026 at 4:45 p.m. to 5:30 with an anticipated attendance of approximately 500 people. A waiver of the city's noise ordinance is also being requested for the duration with immediate effect. It's back to school time. Any questions or comments? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 43, resolution by Council Members El-Sawafi and O'Reilly authorizing the finance director to recognize and appropriate the fiscal year 2027 Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, also known as SEMCOG, Planning Assistant Program Award for the Dearborn Schools Corridor Traffic Study Project in the amount of $32,740 with a local match requirement in the amount of $7,260 and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The city has been awarded $32,740 through fiscal year 2027 from SEMCOG Planning Assistance Program to conduct pedestrian and traffic safety studies at our 4 high-priority school area corridors and evaluate the feasibility of high-density active crosswalks and signals for pedestrian safety throughout our city. The study will focus on 4 locations that experience significant traffic for students and families in the neighborhood and residents along. The project cost is $40,000, including $32,740 is a grant from SEMCOG, and the city's match of $7,260. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next item.
Item 44, resolution by council members O'Reilly and Abraham authorizing the finance director to recognize the Michigan Department of Natural Resources through the Land and Water Conservation Fund grant award for the development of a splash pad at Camp Dearborn in the amount of $500,000 and to appropriate $500,000 in the general fund balance to the Camp Dearborn operating budget as a transfer to the facility fund, and to recognize and appropriate the transfer for the local match and requesting immediate effect.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Michigan Department of Natural Resources, or DNR, and the U.S. Department of Interior National Park Service have approved the City of Dearborn to receive $500,000 in Land and Water Conservation Fund grant for the development of a splash pad park at Camp Dearborn, including relative accessibility and site improvements. If this is also being requested that the Chief Financial Officer be authorized to recognize and appropriate the same. Any questions or comments? I'd like to thank our grants departments for a tremendous job, well needed, and it's going to make a big difference out there. And the Parks Department, which I will note that she sat in the first row. Somebody chose to sit in the second row, so we appreciate you sitting in the front row there for us. Any questions or comments? Any objection to the unanimous roll? Unanimous roll shall be attached. Next slide.
Item 45, resolution by council members Paris and O'Reilly authorizing the purchase of the 50-foot by 250-foot portion of the property located at 19501 Outer Drive, which contains the fire safety house, from the Dearborn Public Schools for the amount of $5,000 and up to an additional amount of $10,000 for closing costs. Also authorizing the mayor and corporation counsel or his designee to execute documents on behalf of the city to effectuate this transaction and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The fire safety house is used annually by the Dearborn Fire Department to provide fire and safety, life safety education to third-grade students at the Dearborn Public Schools for various private schools. After many years of use, it's been agreed that the city of Dearborn will purchase this property to make renovations from the schools, from the Dearborn school system. The city assessor has evaluated the property at approximately $30,100. They're requesting immediate effect. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Chief, you want to speak on it? No, we're good. Yeah. We're good. Thank you. Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 46, resolution by council members O'Reilly and El Sawafi granting the request of the Kiwanis Club of Dearborn, 48124, to hold its annual peanut street sales and solicit contributions at various public roadways throughout the city from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on September 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, 2026, and requesting immediate effect.
All right, thank you, Mr. Clerk. The Kiwanis Club of Dearborn submitted their annual request for council approval to solicit for contributions in the public roadway through the sale of peanuts from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. September 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th of this year. Folks, if you're out there, see them in the road. The peanuts are phenomenal, and the cause is even better. So help support the Kiwanis Club. They're doing a great job. Any questions or comments on this item? Any objection to unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 47, resolution by council members O'Reilly and Paris concurring in the appointment of Marilla Willett, to the East Dearborn Downtown Development Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2030.
All right, thank you. This appointment by Maria Willett for the East Dearborn Downtown Authority for a term of 4 years, determined on June 30th, 2030. I'd just like to remind everyone that are serving on our commissions. I'd like to thank them. These are volunteer positions that are extremely important to help assist the city government in our operations. Any questions or comments? Any objection? Unanimous roll? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 48 is a resolution by Councilmember O'Reilly and Paris concurring in the appointment of Marilla Willett to the West Dearborn Downtown Development Authority with a term ending June 30th, 2030.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Well, thank you, Ms. Willett, for also being willing to serve on our West Downtown Authority, a 4-year term that will end on June 30th, 2030. Any questions or comments? Any objection? Unanimous roll? Unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Item 49, resolution by council members El Sawafi and Hammoud concurring in the appointment of Claudia Hammoud to the Library Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2029.
All right, thank you again. I would like to recognize the appointment of Claudia Hammoud to our Library Commission for the term ending for a 3-year term that will end on June 30th, 2029. Any questions or comments?
No relation to me or the mayor.
Right. That is true. No relation to either one.
Question for the library?
Yes, question for a library. This is an appointment, sir.
Yeah,
And
question on the appointment for the library. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, if you can step to the microphone. You'll be able to address it. Yes, sir. There's a little corridor here, sir. If you like, you could get through there.
Where is it?
Straight back. Straight back.
Where were the officers or the microphone, sir?
Okay, thank you. What safeguards require library commission members to apply viewpoint-neutral collection and access policies rather than favoring or suppressing political, religious, cultural, or ideological viewpoints? And what process exists for residents to challenge a library commission decision they believe violates their principles?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, those questions are better addressed to our library commission. So there is on our website, there are meetings, you will be able to speak to them and you'll be able to get those answers.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. All right, any objection to unanimous roll on the appointment of Claudia Hammoud? Okay, unanimous roll should be attached. Next item.
Mr. President, no further items on tonight's agenda.
All right, I have just a couple for myself. I just wanted to recognize some outstanding achievements in our community this last few months, and they happen to be all women, which is always a great thing. Zaina Al Hassan, personal friend and a tremendous individual who's also on our planning commission, was elected vice president of the Kresge Foundation, and we wanted to recognize that for her. It's a tremendous. All right, thank you. For our community access, we have a retirement by Mrs. Maha Frage, over 35 years. If some of you guys ever watch a YouTube video, you'll see her as a very, very young lady when access began in the south end of Dearborn in the late 70s. 35 years she is retiring. To be said, her dream and fulfillment, which hopefully will be coming at the end of this month or next month, a new access treatment, drug and rehabilitation treatment center in our city of Dearborn on Michigan Avenue in the East Dearborn side near Wyoming, will be realized because of her tremendous work. I'd like to also recognize Lena Haraji, a personal friend of mine, classmate, that is taking over as the next CEO. She has been working with Access for at least 15 to 20 years. Tremendous job. It's great to see organizations that have planned successions and have a real plan. They're doing tremendous work at Access, and we'd like to recognize both those ladies. We also have one of our bright people from our school systems, Mesa Ali Bazi, who was recently took it from our school system, like many of them do, and to go to the state boards, and she is going to be being appointed or been appointed to work as the Chief Deputy of the Michigan Department of Education. It's a tremendous honor to have our school system people continue to move up into the state, and it just shows you what kind of work has been done in here in Dearborn. So I'd like to make sure we recognize that as well. Thank you. For myself and for my colleagues, anything from my colleagues before we move on to the administration? Okay. All right. Mayor, anything from the administration? Thank you. Mr. Clerk, anything from your department?
I'm all set tonight, thank you.
All right. So now we will move into our final part, which will be our public speaking. Duration, just a kind reminder, same rules follow. We have several cards here. I do know that there might be some people that may have exited, so I will give a little bit of time to make sure that no one is outside. Or can we make the assumption that they're all inside that want to speak since there's space?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chief. All right, first we have Mr. Mohammed Saab. So just a kind reminder back there.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mohammed Saab. I'm a student at Wayne State University in the College of Engineering, just down the road from here. After tonight, Dearborn will once again go viral. The clips of us in our city are already being cut, and once again, our city will be shown to millions of people who have never set a foot in it. While the eyes of the country are on us, I would rather they see something positive than what those filled with hate brought them here to see. Dearborn is a city full of remarkable people. We have doctors, lawyers, engineers, business owners, tradesmen, and families who put each other first. If you are looking for proof of the American dream, you do not have to look past the city of Dearborn. Understand what these men are. They are not activists and they are not preachers. They are merchants whose only good to sell is fear. It's a cheap product and it contains an enormous margin. It requires no evidence, no argument, and no acquaintance whatsoever with the person whom it's sold against, and it asks of you only one thing, that you look at a neighbor and you agree to see a stranger. While we are busy buying fear from these men, nobody's asking why a family, working hard, cannot afford a home or a doctor. Let me leave you with this one statement. In a republic, the power does not descend from a throne. It rises from us, the people. That is the whole of our strength, but it is also exactly our weakness, because the people who can be persuaded can also just as easily be deceived. Every lie that a nation accepts for long enough becomes the law that it lives under. Our defense here in Dearborn has never been anger, nor has it ever been silence. It's been education. Learn a thing before you repeat it, meet a person before you fear them, and judge men and women by their character, because that is the only measure that has been and ever will be fair. Hate is loud, but it's fragile. It survives only when nobody bothers to check where it comes from. Thank you. Have a good night, everybody.
Okay, we have Mohammed Ali Bas.
Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to speak. Thank you to the City Council and to Mayor Hammoud for everything he does for our great city. As you can hear, my voice is raspy because I was out there protesting against agitators and un-Americans who come to Dearborn and spread fear. This country was founded on the belief of freedom of religious. This country was founded on the belief of freedom from religious persecution, like liberty and the pursuit of happiness, in which our country was founded on. And Dearborn is the epitome of what America is. When it was America that was attacked in Pearl Harbor, it was the Arab American population that picked up the rats, that jobs, that fought against fascism, that fought against fascists in Nazi Germany. Though defeated in 1945, fascism hasn't been rooted out, and it's very evident today. Our people aren't any less American than the next. So why is it that these fascists come to Dearborn, preach on Sharia law, while being the same group that has invalidated the democratic processes and attempted to storm the capital of the United States, in which we each contribute to our country, to our nation, to its culture, to its history, to its promises? Our people refuse to take a moral lashing from people who wave the Nazi flags. Americans died to fight off and against, from people who voted to a man who bombed an Iranian schoolgirl, killing over 10 girls, from Epsteiners and January 6ers. Our country, our city, our county won't bow down to people who wish to spread fear. Our country is built upon the promise of America. And like everyone here who has spoken, this is what the promise of America is: cultural acceptance, freedom, the pursuit of happiness, and religion. We won't be religiously persecuted, and we won't be made out to be victims, even if we are the target of the United States. God bless the United States, and God bless the City of Dearborn.
Council President Serini. Thank you to members of the council, to Mayor Hammoud. I just feel so proud of Dearborn today. I'm so proud of our leadership. I'm so proud of every single family out there that is keeping its head down and just going about our lives like we always have. I'm especially proud of all the kids out there. And we don't have kids in the room, thank God. But I want to speak just to the kids in Dearborn today. My friends, I know it's a scary time. I was a kid once here in Dearborn and felt really scared because there was this thing that was happening. There was a guy who kept showing up in our city, and he was obsessed. It seemed like he was obsessed with Dearborn. He kept burning a Quran for some reason, and it made me feel very scared. But the advice that I got from my mom and my dad and my sister was that here in Dearborn, some people come and go, but those folks, especially the ones that are trying to divide us, they don't know us. They don't live here. We live here. They will come and go, and we will remain. The beauty of Dearborn, the strength of Dearborn, the strength of our region here in southeastern Michigan is our diversity. I kept my head down. I ended up growing up and working at the highest levels of our government. One day I was working in the United States Capitol, and there was a small group of people who had a very narrow idea of what America is and who belongs in America that came. You might read about it at school. It was on January 6th of 2021. I was inside the Capitol working for a member of Congress, defending our democracy, trying to certify an election on that day. And there was a small group of people that didn't want our democracy to survive. They wanted to promote the politics of division. One of those people is the same guy who now is showing up to Dearborn, trying to say that he's against just one religion. The reality is that guy and a whole lot of people like him, they're not that many people. It's actually a very small number of people. They're not attacking a religion, they're attacking an idea of America that includes all of us. And so when this guy and this distraction comes and goes, we will be here and you will grow up to continue strengthening one of the most beautiful cities in the world that's led by incredible people like our mayor, who I'm so proud of. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your leadership today. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Othman Al-Ansi.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Uthman Ali Al-Ansi. I am a lifelong resident of the city. 9 months ago, I stood at the same microphone on a day when two very different visitors came to Dearborn. One came carrying every fear the internet had sold him. He walked our streets, he sat in our mosques, he spoke with our neighbors, and he left the city a changed man. He admitted out loud what few are brave enough to say, that he had been lied to. In place of the danger he was promised, he found hospitality. He found dignity, and he found the people who treat a stranger as if he was already a neighbor. The other group came for none of that. They came to shout, they came to film, they came to be seen, and to them I said then, and I'll say it again tonight, our table is still set. There is a seat for you. There is a plate of shawarma, a glass of Yemeni tea. You don't have to agree with a single thing we believe to break bread with us. And the invitation still stands, even tonight, even as another so-called crusade is organized at our doorstep. But some of the people who most need to hear these words will never walk into this chamber. So tonight, let me speak past this room to those who hold real power over what happens next. In 2024, I endorsed Donald Trump for president. I was wrong. I have never hidden it. I said so plainly then, and I'll say it again now, in front of my neighbors. I let my grief over Gaza lead me to a decision I regret. I own that mistake, and because I own it, I have earned the right to say what comes next. Mr. President, the man leading this march walks free because of you. Your pardon gave him back his liberty. and he has chosen to spend that liberty targeting a city whose own voters helped return you to office. We did not come to you out of blind loyalty. We came because we were tired of the two parties that seem to answer to the same distant interests. You asked for our trust, we gave it, and in our hour of need, you've given us silence. One sentence from you would end this. Condemn the march. When a Muslim nation gave you a gift of a plane, there was no outrage. But when the same community asks only to be left in peace in its own hometown, your silence is louder than any bullhorn on the streets. And to the Republicans who just won their primaries, John James, Mike Rogers, and the rest of the ticket, I have a word for you too. You want to govern the state. You want to carry Michigan's voice to Washington. Then hear me clearly. Dearborn is Michigan. If you are the tireless workers you claim to be on the campaign trail, then work for the people of this country, not for the spread of Islamophobia, not at the command of any foreign lobby. Thomas Massey has shown that a Republican can put his nation first and stand firm under pressure. If you cannot bring yourselves to say one plain sentence that you do not want a crusade in Michigan, then you already have told every family in the city exactly how little we are worth to you. Now let me be clear about what the January 6th convict and those marching behind him are really after. They did not come here for conversation. They came to provoke us, to film our reaction, and to turn our anger into division, and to carry our division home like a trophy. Their whole livelihoods depend on this moment, so let's refuse to give it to them. And to the young people especially, yeah.
I'm sorry, your time is expired.
All right,
okay?
thank you. The noise will pass, Dearborn will remain, and so will we. Thank you.
Mr. Deegan, Anthony Deegan.
Anthony Deegan, 25-year Dearborn resident. I just want to say, first of all, on behalf of all the local Christians here, we wish that Jake Lang would never, ever come back to the city of Dearborn. It was the least Christian rally I've ever seen in my life. And I also want to say that it is true that there are quite a number of peaceful, beautiful Muslims in the city of Dearborn, okay? So with that said, that does not come at the expense that there is, in fact, a smaller contingent of radical Muslims in the city of Dearborn that are not being dealt with. Okay, so what happened to Jake Lang, I completely disagree with everything the man stands for, but what happened to him was appalling. And it should never happen. If the roles were reversed, there would be 20 squad cars descending on that parking lot immediately, and there were plenty in the area. I'm asking for the Department of Justice, the FBI, the Attorney General, whomever, to look into the city of Dearborn's policing policies and to look into the politics that take place, because it's not just Jake Lang. Cam Higbee was assaulted. Nothing was done about it. Nick Shirley had recorded somebody saying they wanted to murder him, and nothing was done about it. Okay, the mayor loves to talk about the pig's head story. I was there at that event, at the festival, when that man brought that pig's head. What the mayor does not talk about is that there was a group of angry young Muslim men who assaulted that man, bleeding profusely, and the police arrested that man instead of those people. They didn't talk to any one of those young people. They arrested that man and said if he came back, he would be permanently arrested. I myself have had rocks thrown at me, called an FAGGOT, white BITCH. I went to the police to report it. They said they did everything they could to talk me out of reporting that. I had to go do my own work, get my own surveillance footage from the Tim Hortons. The guy knew everybody in the store, he knew the assistant manager, and yet nothing was done. All the online threats that we talk about, that I see every week on TCD Dearborn about all the threats that are being made against the Islamic community, what about the threats that are being made by the Islamic community? I've had threats made against me after I opposed Israel divestment. There was two of us in the room in an echo chamber full of people who were angry at us. Online afterwards, people were saying, give us the name of those Klansmen. Let's October 7th these nuts. And who are they? Give us their public information. And nothing was done about it. Your representative smiled at me condescendingly when I brought it up. Council President Serini, you scoffed at the idea that nothing would be done about it. I went there, nothing was done about it. The county prosecutor refused to prosecute it. Okay? So Dearborn has a serious problem with radicalism. We have homegrown terror plots.
Your time has expired, but I'm going to address a couple of things that was not true. Did you hear what you said, or you want us to play it back to you? The Wayne County prosecutor refused to process something?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a law degree? Do you have a law degree?
No, I don't.
That's the question.
No, I don't.
This is not.
I don't have a law degree, but I know how to read.
Okay. The Wayne County prosecutor is not the answer to the city of Dearborn. They are the lawyers, and they refuse to prosecute. Okay, so that's your answer on that. In regard to Mr. Lang being assaulted, he was arrested forthwith. Let's get that out of the way because there's a lot of lies about that. He was arrested forthwith, was detained by our police department, and the person that was arrested and accused of this crime was also taken into federal custody.
I saw at least 10 to 20 assaults. I saw at least 10 to 20 assaults.
Mr. Deegan, you asked a question. There was a gentleman. There was 4 arrests. Okay, and if you like to find out the information, go ahead and find out information. But do not sit here and tell the people that we are lawless and we did not follow the law, because that is the furthest from the truth. The man was arrested and he was detained and he's being charged and he's actually taken into federal custody.
You're saying man singular. There was men plural.
Mr. Deegan, as I indicated, there was 4 arrests. You're more than welcome to find out through the FOIA process on who they were arrested, and then how they were charged is through the court process. That's the process we have in this country. You can't pick and choose which one you want to have. That's the process.
I would agree.
When we arrest people, that's our job, to arrest them. The prosecution job is part of the next stage. That's not our job. You continue to say stuff that's not true. I'm not
It is true. The online threats, I have never seen one Muslim person arrested for an online threat.
Mr. Deegan, online threats are federal, okay?
Not true. Your chief of police said that they were going to use all local, state, and federal people to investigate threats. You say that the local DPD monitors threats. They don't care anything about it when it's somebody like me who gets threatened. It's only when it's a protected class that gets threatened. Your own chief said it. I've got screenshots, and you want to talk about reading, you can read that.
If you have screenshots, what I would recommend to you is that any law-abiding citizen, there's a process in this country. If you go to the Dearborn Police Department, you're not happy with what's happened, you go to the state police department. That's the way the process
That's why I just called for the Attorney General.
Go ahead and do it, and then you'll go through the process. You're more than welcome. That's your right. Okay? If you're not happy with an outcome of something, that's what's great about our country. We have a circle. You go through, and you will get justice. If what you're saying is true, it will happen. So go through the process. That's all I'm asking you. Okay? Next speaker, you're all set. Next speaker, I have Zohair Abdullah. Would you like to still speak? Okay. Thank you. You can come this way. Whatever. Yeah,
Good evening, Zohair Abdullah. When I came to this country in 1977, I left my country because of the Civil War with my 3 brothers. I arrived to this country, to New York airport, with $913. I didn't speak one word of English. In 4 years, I had engineering degree from Wayne State University in 1981. My brothers has BSs in economic and biology. We came to this country, we paid our dues, we used the law, we used the procedures, we used what's available, the opportunities of this country, which are available to everybody who sat here, Mr. Lorenzo, and claim we took from them and we took from them and we got all our riches on their backs. We paid our dues. We worked 7 days a week. We slept in one room, 3 of us in Highland Park. We lived like everybody else. We took the buses. We froze our feet when we waited for half an hour to take the bus from one place to go to our classes and to our work. The Constitution of this country is a great document. It gives everybody the right to live their life free, to do what they want, to worship who they want. And Mr. Lang, he has every right to burn the book, to do whatever he wants to, with it. But he cannot tell us who we worship, because the only thing I worship and every citizen in this country should worship is the Constitution of this country. Because it it supersedes the Quran, the Bible, and the Torah. Because we all live under that Constitution, we all guaranteed our rights under that Constitution. So God bless this country, God bless this council and this city. Tonight you guys proved that you are great leaders. You deserve to be up there. And I thank all our residents who none of them fought or did anything illegal. Again, thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Cray, you're next one. Glenn O'Cray.
I just want to tell the city officials here, I love you all. God bless you. Mayor, your talk really touched me. I was born in the predecessor to Oakwood Hospital, and I went to Sacred Heart for 12 years, grades 1 through 12, and the nuns whom I was very critical of years ago, I also have grown to really love for the sense of social justice that they gave me. What I saw tonight outside and within this hall on the part of many people is not reflective of Christianity. It's just the opposite. I would just like to go on record that I believe that the spirit of the gospel has not been followed as it should be. My heart goes out to all Muslims. Very sad what you are going through. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Tiffany Alexander. Thank you.
I'm short. Hello. As I said, my name is Tiffany. First, can I just apologize for the other people who came up here looking like me? I am so sorry and unbelievably embarrassed and like to crawl into a hole at that moment. So please, when you see people that look like me, do not make that assumption. And please think about what you have to, how lost you have to be to look like me and follow Jake, whatever his name is, Lang, okay, who said black parents are failures, black culture is disgusting, told a bunch of black protesters they were chimping around, and made monkey noises at black teenagers. So just imagine how lost of the soul you have to be. So I don't want to make this about that. I have been part of the community of Dearborn all 47 years of my life. My mother currently lives here. Both of her neighbors are Muslim. And they have been, my mother's elderly, not very independent, because I'm sure she's watching. And her neighbors have always taken care of her. They look out for her. I have patronized the restaurants, the coffee houses of this community for many decades. And I am so sorry that you are having to tolerate this appalling, disgusting display of ignorance and fear and hatred. I often wondered, have any of these people ever prior to today been in Dearborn, including the preacher? Because I've never in my life been unwelcomed anywhere here. I'm so sorry. I am so very deeply embarrassed. but speaking for a great deal of my community. We support you, we stand with you, we stand with our Muslim brothers and sisters, and I don't know how much these people are actually even really understood against you. First of all, the biggest population of Muslims in the United States are Southeast Asians. The second biggest population, I myself am not Muslim, but they look like me. That's the second biggest population.
You have 30 seconds remaining.
Thank you. Arab people are the third biggest population of Muslims. I am fully aware of who has oppressed my people since day one. I am fully aware of what they look like and my history. And they do not look like my Muslim brothers and sisters. I stand with you today. My family stands with you tomorrow. And we will always stand with you as long as we draw breath. Thank you.
The next one, it's hard to read out the first name, but it's Arnold is the last name. Could you Stephen? Yes, sir.
Good evening. Just saw an old face there. We ran for mayor many years ago against each other. He got more votes than me. I came in third, though. I didn't have all the money he had to spend. All right, good evening. First of all, great planning. Excellent. This could have exploded. It's pretty bad out there. Could have been 10 times worse. Excellent. A+. Mr. Serini, great reel that you sent out. That kept thousands of people from coming. I was at that gym this morning. Everyone was saying they're not coming. They're going to ignore this noise, and they did. You could have had 100,000 people out there. Okay, they stayed. They chose to stay home. Okay, saved. There would have been a lot of mess, right? We have in Dearborn an excellent mayor. I know, I've watched him. I've learned from him. He is dynamic. He's smart. Wish I was as smart as that. He did make a mistake a couple months ago. Right? He's laughing. Completely explainable. But youth, A+ tonight. Excellent. I couldn't do it. I'm an Irishman. Man, you wouldn't want me out there. Let me see if I can read this thing. I want to apologize to the City of Dearborn, particularly our Arab American friends. There was a group, I'll just call them misguided Christians and misguided patriots. Okay? They listen to the wrong people. And they got good interests and at heart. But be careful who you follow. Be careful who you follow. Okay? Because they're here to divide. You're trying to pit us against each other. And Dearborn's a great city to live in. Been here 30 years. Okay? It's changed a lot. It's still a great city. My gym used to be 90% white. It's now 90% Middle Eastern. Okay? I used to have white neighbors on both my sides.
You have 30 seconds.
Okay, I'll go quick. I'm going to cut off since I have only 30 seconds. I want to say another thing here. The police did an excellent job. A+, double A+. That's a great choice to have up there. Looks like the mountain from Game of Thrones, and I wouldn't do anything. A+. And so the whole team. And my final word is, make sure the officers get overtime. Because man, they were on the front line. It's easy to sit back the desk. I spent a lot of time walking outside there, and again, I again, the poise they had, the courage they showed, because there was close. There's guys walking with handguns out there. Man, I'm glad I...
Thank you.
But, okay, that's it?
Appreciate it, yes, sir. Thank
Well,
you.
that's a quick clock. Thank you.
The next speaker we have is Dr. Lana. Yes, please.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Lana Al-Hassani, and I have a few points. First of thing, we keep hearing this is a Christian nation, and because I'm involved in interfaith with Native American, and this is a big offensive to Native people, because they said those people came, the Christian, from Europe to practice their religion here freely, then they claimed this is a Christian nation. So first of thing, this is not a Christian nation. This is monotheist, and they told me they worship one God, the Creator. They call him the Great Spirit. He is the same God, the Creator that Jesus worshiped on Saint Virgin Mary. Second, those Christian, they cannot talk behalf on all Christian people. My husband, he is Catholic. They have different translation to their Bible. I'm Muslim, and I'm proud to marry Irishman Catholic. I don't see any difference, okay? And my husband, he is Catholic, and he know more about Islam, more even than me, because he is a historian. And for the event for Imam Hussein on August 2nd, that it made a lot of news. By the way, I'm the granddaughter of Hussein, and I'm proud of it. My grandpa Hussein, he stood up for justice and the truth. He stood up against corrupted Islamic caliphate. We hear in Western media, oh, in history, they were Islamic caliphate, they were conquered land, kill human, yes, I agree, but guess what? Those Islamic caliphate established by Western Empire in history, not by Prophet Muhammad family. And guess what? Good news for you. Prophet Muhammad family stood up against them. Hussein, grandson of Muhammad, my grandpa stood up against those caliphate corrupted in history, if you talk about history. And those Islamic caliphate slaughtered Muhammad family with 72 with his people. Second, Prophet Muhammad family, wife Lady Khadija, she came from a Christian background. Other thing, the priest who confirmed the message of Islam, he was Muhammad family cousin, he was a priest, he was Catholic, he approved the message of Islam. And when the Prophet of Islam and his follower got slaughtered in their own city, they asked refugee in a Christian city, and that it shows how a big history and sharing history between Muslim and between a Christian. If any people can read the real history, they will see that we are one, Muslim and the Christian. And the event of Al-Hussein, it's honored not just by Muslim, but also honored by Catholic priest, is honored by Orthodox Church, and we have all love and respect to all good Christian people, the real Christian, not the fake one. Okay? And always we are one. Thank you.
Next we have Eddie H.
Good evening, boards, member of the boards, neighbors and friends. Tonight we're being asked to take seriously a man who has built his entire platform on a lie. Mr. Lang has spent months telling anyone who listened that Dearborn is secretly governed by Sharia law. No ordinance, no court, no city record supports that claim because it doesn't exist. Residents here, Muslim and Christian alike, live under the same Michigan law, same U.S. Constitution, and the same city charter as every other resident in this state. But when you have to invent a legal system to be afraid of, that tells you something about the argument that you're actually making. Let's talk about what Mr. Lang has done instead of making that argument, honestly. He's tried to burn religious textbooks in the street. He slapped a holy book with a slat of bacon for a camera. He's called for mass deportation of people who lived, worked, and raised families in this very country for generations. He brushed away any type of hospitality. And none of that is political commentary. It's all a stunt built to provoke fear and call it faith. And that's the part I actually want to speak about, because Mr. Lang claims to do this in the name of Christianity. So let's hold him to that standard. Because Christ ate with the outcast. He told us to love our neighbor, not to burn what our neighbors hold sacred. Christ said the truth would set us free, not that provocation dressed up as truth would get you a following. By that measure, the Muslim families in this city who show hospitality to strangers, who care for their elderly, who show up for their neighbors regardless of faith, they are living closer to that teaching on any given Tuesday than Mr. Lang has ever done in his entire campaign. That's not an insult, that's just an honest look at the fruit each of them is producing. And it's why you'll find plenty of Christians plainly and publicly saying they don't recognize their own faith in what he's selling. So Sharia doesn't exist in the measures that you may think here. First of all, Sharia means principle, law. Okay, just like Allah literally means God. Sharia is simply the principle that we live by, such as property rights in marriage, equality and accountability. Sharia insists that we don't indulge in usury and interest. Sharia law explains the inheritance of a family's estate. It's the way of life, the true, honest way of living, and that's something Crusaders are not accustomed to, as they are accustomed to stealing in a form of conquering and terrorizing in the name of establishing faith. So my ask of this board is very simple. Don't legitimize a manufactured threat by treating it as a real debate. After this Tuesday, I urge the board not to entertain this any further by agreeing to a board meeting. The world has seen what we have to offer and what Mr. Lang is portraying, because provocation is not the same thing as principle. Thank you so much, and appreciate everything that you do, Mr. Mayor. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Dan Melinda. I just want to say I love Dearborn, and I think you all are doing a great job. And, you know, what the mayor said earlier was very moving and eloquent, and everything my neighbors have said is really kind of echoed that. It's just, I keep hearing this common kind of message of unity. The only people that I hear kind of preaching division are people from outside Dearborn. And I've only lived in Dearborn 7 years myself, but I, find it very welcoming. My kids have gone to school here. I've had great schools, great places to eat. It's a great community. It's safe. Kids can just walk to town themselves. The parks, and I have to say the recent investment in the parks has just been wonderful. And like the Peace Park, I was there for the summer market. It's like something out of a Hallmark movie. And it's, just seeing the community coming together and, like seeing the, in the summertime with the World Cup, having it televised. There's just so much that pulls people together. And all of this, it's developments that you guys have done in recent years. And I just don't understand the haters, and I don't understand every time I read any article about Dearborn, people just go into the comments. And it's always people outside of Dearborn where, it's nice, it's refreshing to hear everyone from Dearborn tonight, just for the most part, talking about unity and coming together and supporting their neighbors. And, I'm here, because a neighbor of mine said to come here tonight, and I'm here to support my neighbors and just say how great Dearborn is and what a great job I think everyone's been doing. So thank you. Thank you.
Next we have Israel.
Okay, dear Mayor, members of the board, and honored guests, peace be with you all. In light of strong religious and political tensions in our country, I believe that what truly helps establish peace and unity is to examine the practices that would show God to be good, just, and perfect in all he does, and that aligns with the natural world he created. This is the foundation of my comment tonight. I want to begin by acknowledging the good I see in many Islamic practices here in Dearborn and throughout our country. The commitment to one God, the discipline of prayer, the reverence shown in speaking highly of the Creator, and the desire for community and fellowship. These are meaningful expressions of devotion, and I appreciate them sincerely. My brother JP once told me how much the Arab community contributes positively to the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana region where I am from. He spoke highly of Arab families, Arab businesses, and the kindness he sees from many Muslims in our area. I agree with him. I don't want the Arab community to leave. Mayor, I want you and your people here and to thrive here. But I do wish to ask you to consider certain practices that history has shown can lead to decay in society and not bring those practices here. For example, how could a God who is just and good take pleasure in seeing one of the creatures he made suffer as a sacrifice to himself, like the Islamic festival of Eid al-Adha, where animals are slaughtered in the name of God? Wouldn't it be on the account of one who is evil to delight in such suffering? But God is not evil, God is good, right? So how could he delight in that? Didn't Jesus end such practices millennia ago, driving the animals out of the temple in John chapter 2, teaching that places of worship should be places of praise and prayer, not sacrifice?
You have 30 seconds.
I also want to address recent actions by Jake Lang, and I'll cut it short. Jesus never ate bacon, folks, so it's no point in putting bacon on a Quran, and I just want to apologize to you all for that, because that's not what Jesus would have done.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Patrick Henry. Okay, Jeff Davis. Davis? No, sir. No, Davis. Jeff Davis. Is the first name Jeff? Yeah, sorry, no, it's not yours. Jeff Davis. If they have a cell phone around here, what's yours end in? No, sir.
He went home. Jeff Davis went home.
Okay, thank you, sir. Fidel Gibson? We gotta go through them all, just give us a second. Dr. Michelle Proctor. Thank you.
Hi, thank you, City Council members and the Mayor for keeping our meeting for the business of the City of Dearborn. I'm here to talk to you about Edison Park. I'm sure you're probably really happy to hear about Edison Park. And the Mayor was very happy, was very gracious to speak with us for 2 hours and take questions from us about our park. The issue is the trees, okay? It's item 15 that was on our agenda. On the website, I didn't have a chance to really digest it. Thursday, we had a meeting and we talked about how it was the easement for what I understood, and I'm here for clarification. What I understood was this was to have an agreement with Ford to be able to go back there, and it didn't have really anything to do with the pipes that were being talked about with the sewers. I'm just wanting clarification on that because it seemed like there was a contract with.
Doctor, we're going to have the Mayor, because we did address it last week, but you're more than welcome.
Okay.
The Mayor will respond.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much for being here. So the easement is an agreement with Ford Motor Company that allows us access to their property under the ground to maintain any lines or staging, things of that nature.
Okay.
Now the next step is we're preparing to go out for a formal RFP, in which, if you're on the email list, we shared that we'd be adding
Yes.
language that says to avoid all trees and doing the investment in the most environmentally conscious manner. Once that company is selected, we'll hire an engineering firm. Then the process will take about 18 months to design the actual storm water line that will ultimately be installed across Southwest Dearborn.
Okay, well, that's what I understood from Thursday, but we kind of mentioned this, that we don't want information to just be spread on social media. So I think it's very important for those of us in the community and those of us who love our park, and we love our park, as you know, to be active in the council meeting so that we can continue the dialogue. So thank you for the clarification. We just want to make sure we save our trees.
I've never been to a park where the Lorax showed up and was a part of the...
Oh, that was pretty good, wasn't it? That was good. Well, you could see the turnout, how much we really, that's really central to our community, and we're very passionate about it. And so I'm sure you'll hear about Edison Park again. Okay, thank you.
Says District 3.
Yep, District 3.
Okay.
That's over by Earl's Point.
Thank you. Sorry.
Mayor, I have a problem.
There's no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much for your hospitality, City of Dearborn. I really enjoyed the educational purposes. I've gone to quite a few city council meetings throughout the state, and I'll tell you this is to the utmost most impressive. Your detailed information in your agendas and the transparency is superb. I appreciate that. In my district, unfortunately, I can tell you that the educational level is far lower than what you have. If I had an opportunity to get our school district together and come and sit and see how professional and well maintained your agenda is with your items and the procedure and the planning, then perhaps people would be more motivated to do better for all. I noticed an agenda item that I'm very concerned about, and it's in relevance to the prop that I have. It is a Arabic magazine purchased in New York by my great-great-great-grandfather. It's only in Arabic. It's from 1924. It is a book that is relevance to love and prosperity and strength and unity. And I don't want any planning to come with your main storm drain to deter your water to go to a data center and take my great-great-grandfather's book of beauty and have a machine destroy it and never know how beautiful it is.
You may, or I think the agenda item is related to the one in regards to data centers.
Yes, the water main drain, so they don't deter that water from the city.
So the agenda item on data centers was we eliminated where data centers could potentially open up in the city of Dearborn. In addition to that, our Corp Council is also working on a moratorium to put a pause on any possible applications that could be submitted to allow moratoriums in order for us to beef up the laws around data centers since we don't have any on our books. And so those are the steps we've taken. And please, the storm interceptor line, as spoken to Dr. Proctor earlier, this is a line that will help reduce flooding in people's basements, given Dearborn floods heavily when we have heavy rain events. And so we did a 2-year study, and the study suggested that we have to add an interceptor line in Southwest Dearborn so that we can sewer separate. So that the sewage water runs down one line, and the storm water runs down another. It has nothing to do and zero implications to any data center.
Thank you.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you very much. All right, next we have Ethan Carroll.
All right, you may say that Dearborn has peaceful. It's been with Christians and occupied peacefully with Muslims and Christians together, and the crime rates have remained fairly stagnant. Not so for Europe. Rapes are up over 300% to 500% in England, France, and Sweden, and other European countries that have fully embraced Muslim immigration. And in those same 3 countries that I just listed, Muslims now make up 7 to 10% of the total population, which has taken place just over these last few decades, driving an explosion in sexual assaults and rapes. Meanwhile, we can take a control group, Poland, in which rapes are down 70% over that same period. Poland's simple strategy is don't let Muslims in. England and Wales, since 2002, rapes increased over 500% to 75,000 reported rapes in the last year. And according to the Statista, that was according to Statista, and for every single one of those 5 reported rapes is 5 to 15 unreported rapes. So you can see the scale of the issue. So we have not seen the full-scale manifestation of the Islamification of America, but Europe has, and they've seen the fruit. And even Germany is now looking at an initiative to deport over 800,000 Muslim immigrants over the course of 3 years. In June 2026, the Rape Inquiry Report unveiled that Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs systematically raped and trafficked thousands of British girls across numerous towns, while police, social services, healthcare providers, and politicians repeatedly failed to protect them, and out of fear of being called racist. The estimated victims was previously mentioned, 250,000 from the 1990s to the present. I say let us all learn from the mistakes of these European countries who have betrayed their people, and especially their women who suffer the most because of these wicked and evil initiatives to not prosecute these things. And the most hypocritical thing about this all is that you guys at the same time claim to be liberals and Democrats and support feminism. Tell me how is supporting a system that mistreats women, increases rapes 300 to 500% in Europe, and now, and then how is that liberal in feminism? You guys are liars and deceitful, and you're sheep in wolf's clothing. And yeah, this is mine.
Absolutely great, man. All right, next we have Chaz Sykes.
This was not made for the vertically gifted, I'll say that. Well, thank you, Dearborn, and good evening. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to talk to you today, and I want to thank the council for allowing free speech. My name is Chaz Sykes with Turning Point Action, the organization founded by the late Charlie Kirk. I am speaking to you today as your Turning Point field representative. The first thing I would like to say is that these jokers do not represent the Republican Party. The Republican Party, thank you. The Republican Party stands for freedom and individual liberty. The real Republican Party stands for the Constitution of the United States. 3 homicides in 2024 and 2025 combined. In a 2-year span, violent crime has dropped by 20%, robberies decreased by 22%, vehicle thefts fell by 30%, and burglaries plummeted by 40%. So that's crime. What about education? According to the Mackinac Center's Context and Performance Report Card, Dearborn public schools frequently dominate the state, with 5 schools ranking in the top 30. Out of all 15 public universities in Michigan, U of M Dearborn grads secure the 4th highest median annual earnings 10 years after enrollment. U of M Dearborn maintains the lowest average annual cost of any public 4-year university in Michigan. What about Dearborn culturally? What does that look like? Well, Dearborn's populace is deeply entrenched in social and religious conservatism. Dearborn is, bar none, the most conservative city in America. The community has made national headlines for packed, raucous school board meetings where large coalitions of Muslim and Christian parents successfully organized to protest and remove books with LGBTQ plus garbage and sexual content from public schools. The social structure revolves heavily around the traditional family unit. Concepts of gender roles, modesty, dating, and marriage tend to align closely with traditional Islamic and Christian teachings rather than modern, progressive garbage. There is a collective community rejection of woke ideology and the disgusting sexualization of children. They have tried to introduce gender identity into local health care and were shut down immediately. Dearborn also has one of the highest densities of small businesses in the state. This fosters a highly capitalistic, anti-regulation, and taxes-conscious mindset aligned with the Republican Party. Find me another city with a population over 100,000 that is more conservative than Dearborn. I am here to tell you that if you believe in entrepreneurship, religious freedom, family orientation, and social conservatism, then you stand with Dearborn. On the other hand, if you spit on capitalism, reject the Constitution, and participate in the destruction of the family and gender roles in society, then you have already left this meeting. Thank you very much.
Next we have Deir Alawan. O'Day Fakori. Sam Barrington. Angela Gill. Mustafa Aluna.
Hello, council members, mayor. Just following up about West Dearborn Valley. I know it's a bad time. I feel like every time I come to a council meeting, there's something more important. I get it. Why? So I just wanted to follow up. I did send all our info over. I was told also to bring in all our documents to present in front of council. I know our police department and zoning department works very hard, and they have a lot more important things to deal with.
I can answer it for you. Okay. Yeah, no, thank you so much for being here. Legal just advised me that they're currently reviewing your application right now, so you should hear back relatively soon.
Okay, Mayor, is it possible to, instead of coming to another council meeting?
Contact you.
Okay, do I have to wait for another?
I might start believing that you are the cause of everything, so we're going to do our best to get you the answer without having you to sit through a long meeting.
Okay, gotcha. And the last thing I wanted to ask, do I have to come to another council meeting? Because it is expensive to wait.
You don't have to.
Okay, we're good. Do you need these documents, or are we good?
We have everything that we need.
All right, thank you guys. Sorry to the bad time. All right, thank you guys. Have a good one.
JP, the boy. That's you, sir.
I'm an atheist. Atheists are also Americans. I strongly disagree with the religious intolerance that some people have been expressing. I welcome neighbors and friends from all religious persuasions. Muslims are Americans. Christians are Americans. Jews are Americans. Wiccans are Americans. Sikhs are Americans. Thousands of other possible persuasions are Americans. People should seek to understand one another and get along, not to stoke division and intolerance. Thank you.
So, my name is Chris Sanders. I'm a proud Catholic Christian, and I am troubled deeply by what I witnessed here tonight. To the men and women protesting in the name of Jesus, hurling hate at our Muslim brothers and sisters, not in his name, and certainly not on my watch. I count many Muslims as my friends, my neighbors, my associates, and yes, my barber. Men and women of integrity, of family, and of faith. We may not be brothers in faith, but we are certainly and absolutely brothers and sisters in humanity. And freedom of religion is not a footnote to being an American. It is a cornerstone. The same First Amendment that protects my right to go to Mass protects your right to the mosque. It grieves me that in the name of Jesus, the Prince of Peace, is being used as a weapon to spread fear, intolerance, and hate. That is not the gospel, that is not the cross, and that certainly is not of Christ. So let me be clear. In the name of Jesus Christ, I rebuke this spirit of hatred and division. Scripture does not leave us confused about this. We are called to rebuke evil, and tonight this is evil, using the name of the Savior who dined with outcasts to cast out our neighbors, good people. John 13:35 tells us exactly how Christians should be known. By this, all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another and your neighbor. 1 John 4:20 makes it even plainer. If anyone says, I love God and hates his brother, he is a liar. So no, you do not speak for me, you do not speak for my church, and you do not speak for Christ when you chant hate at people of God, no matter the faith. To my Muslim friends in this room and in this city, you are welcome here, you belong here. Your freedom to worship is my freedom to worship, and I will stand for it because my faith demands it. We can disagree, and we probably will, on theology, and still defend each other's dignity. That's not weakness, that's Christianity. That is American.
Thank you, Mr. Stanton. Jeff Boyer?
Unlike a lot of people who showed up, something to read, I don't have anything to read. Lord Jesus Christ brought me here today to speak with everybody. And yes, everybody should be open-minded. Everybody should be friendly, kind. You never know what somebody else is thinking unless you take time to stop and actually talk to each other. What I've come to down there Dearborn for to talk about is the First Amendment, because it's important for everybody in this room, everybody across our great country. It doesn't matter where your beliefs come from. It doesn't matter where you come from. It depends on how you treat all of our rights. The First Amendment says you have the right to freedom of speech. A lot of people showed up outside. I've seen anger and bitterness on both sides. I've seen people on both sides instigating. Didn't need to be. As far as coming down and not having your rights violated. Do I really believe that Jack Long, or Jake Long, however you say it, I don't even know the guy's name truthfully very well. But what happened with him getting hit? He wasn't trying to fight. Somebody hit him. It doesn't matter which side you're on, whether you like his belief or somebody else's. Nobody deserves to get attacked. That's what it comes down to. And then once it happened, and there's video everywhere, you know, people chasing them down, as the one gentleman mentioned earlier. It wasn't just one person. It started with one person, and then the mob effect happened, and then they started chasing him. Then he ended up in a car, and they were trying to get him out of the car. Yes, he ended up getting to safety, getting put to jail, as you said. A couple other people got arrested, but more people were involved in that. And with our First Amendment rights, if we don't follow and use our videos and use what we have to make sure all the people that were involved got arrested, that makes all of us unsafe, because that moment when it happens and it turns out to be you won't be safe. And we are all only safe in our country because of our amendment rights. Freedom of religion. I'm a Christian. You know, Muslims are sitting here. Somebody might be from Israel. Somebody could be from Kenya. Somebody could be from South Africa. It doesn't matter. That's what makes America great, is you can come here, we can all live on the same block. As the gentleman said, he's an atheist. We should all be able to get along.
We have 30 seconds remaining.
So the important part is to make sure that our amendment rights doesn't get trampled on, and that things are followed. Because if we don't have people in government, the mayor, the police officers, and higher up governors and stuff, making sure our amendments are followed, because you took an oath, Mayor, am I correct? Which I should be. You know, the police officer took an oath to stand for the Constitution, to make sure all of us are protected. That's what's important for all of us, to stay protected. And everybody's welcome.
Thank you,
Thanks.
sir. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next we have Leslie here.
Good evening, Mayor, esteemed City Council. Thank you for entertaining my comments this evening. I'm Leslie Herrick. I am the Community Relations Director for the Intercultural Community Center in Dearborn, which is a nonprofit organization serving Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. Its mission is to bring people together to understand each other, where we come from, where we are today, the things that bond us in unity here. There are so many things that we have in common that outnumber those differences between us. And the Intercultural Community Center in Dearborn seeks to address those. For example, just earlier this year, we had panel discussions on challenges in finding housing, affordable housing. We also had a panel discussion on what's on the ballot, on the primary ballot. Coming up later this year, we have a community picnic for Good Neighbor Day, which is in September. It will be celebrated by the Intercultural Community Center in Dearborn, as well as the City of Dearborn, which is encouraging neighborhoods to do what we always do. We have, just like across the country, and probably more than many cities across the country, we have neighborhood picnics, block parties that bring people together no matter where they came from. They ended up on the same street or on the same block, and they break bread together. They do potlucks and family activities, family-friendly children's activities across our city. So these are examples of what makes Dearborn similar to other cities across the country, but it also makes us unique because of the people that are here. We are here by choice for the most part, and we love our city, and we love the diversity that makes us stronger. And some of those things that you see if you come to visit, if you're not part of our neighborhoods and going to our picnics or block parties, you would experience, if you have not already, wonderful food at many of our restaurants. Upcoming later this fall, our coffee month. It's our coffee week, and it's a wonderful time to experience all kinds of different coffee if you are a coffee drinker, or even tea. Many of our coffee houses, some are locally owned by different nationalities, so please come experience some of those activities. Earlier somebody mentioned our farmers market. Again, you see those across the country, but ours is special. With people that are local here participating and enjoying the activities or running the booths that are there. I just wanted to mention, there were a couple things.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. Two things that, again, unite us with around the world. We have Rotary Club of Dearborn. Rotary International is a nonprofit organization around the world that brings people together and serves those in need. So thank you for entertaining our little free library. It's a partnership between the Rotary Club of Dearborn and the City of Dearborn, so that was on the consent agenda. And then I also wanted to speak about trees. Thank you. For a couple years ago, we activated our environmental commission, and there's a subcommittee that deals with trees. And thank you for considering the trees when you look at the plans for the sewer separation project. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Byron Harmon.
Is that Brian Harmon?
Yeah. I apologize. Yes.
No, you're good. Hello, my name is Brian Harmon. I came to Dearborn today because I seen a video of a man who was just trying to say Christian things, and he got stuff thrown at him, and he was attacked. I'm not a Christian personally, but I have Christian values, and I do not want to see anybody attacked in my country for just expressing themselves. And like what happened there was something that I thought I would never see in my country. There's a lot of things that are happening in my country that I thought I'd never see, like flock cameras and these data centers that are coming. And nobody wants this stuff to happen. Like, if we want data centers, we should put them in space, not in our oceans, not in our backyards. But what I came here today was because I don't support Jake Lang. I believe he's an Israeli plant, and he is literally just here to spew hate. And I don't disagree with everything he says, but he goes at things a very hateful way, and he wants to target a certain group. He said that Sharia law is here, and he's wrong. Jake Lang is wrong. Sharia law is not here, and it will never be here because of us young patriots of this country. But I really think a lot of Christians are scared, and why, like, this event could have been so much worse is what's happening in Europe, like the gentleman said earlier. Christians are being, like taken over, and like there is a Zionist regime that is trying to wipe out the white population across the world. And I mean, look at what's happening even in Africa. Like, Christians have been slaughtered for years and years and years. Like, the militaries have to take action over there because of it. But fascism is not the problem in America. It's Zionism. And I honestly, like, there's a lot of people here that talk about Henry Ford and what he believed in. But Henry Ford would be rolling in his grave for what's happened to this country. Like, if you look into what Henry Ford believed about the Jews and Zionism, like, I bet you they would wake so much people's eyes up to this.
You have 30 seconds.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't come here to talk today. Like, I came here to just see what was happening because I was afraid of what was happening. And I talked to both sides, and everybody agreed that Zionism bad, Muslims and Christians. Well, some Christians, not most, not the MAGA people. But that's what they want us to be. They want us to be divided. Zionism is the problem, and that's really all. Thank you. That's all I want to come here to say. Fuck Zionism.
Ted Barham, Dearborn resident. A lot of the problems that we are seeing here today started from something that happened last year where I objected to a street sign, and then the mayor told me I'm not welcome here and he'll throw a parade when I leave the city. And later spread defamation about me in conjunction with others in the Arab American News and in Al Jazeera and in the Guardian newspaper, scurrilous and ridiculous defamation. That street sign is named after a journalist who says that the most important thing that he's ever done, he continues to maintain, is when he led the crowd here in Dearborn paying homage to the leader of Hezbollah. And of course, Hezbollah bombed to death hundreds of Americans in Beirut. Now, that's not just an isolated incident. That's the thing. It's representative of bigger problems. Imams in the biggest mosques in Dearborn and Dearborn Heights praise the Iranian regime, which has caused so much oppression to so many people. It's killed hundreds of thousands of people directly and through proxies. And my fellow Christians in Iran, which is a great concern to me, are extremely persecuted there in Iran. So these are legitimate concerns that we have. And I don't think it should be controversial to raise these concerns. Jewish people, you can paint a rosy picture of Dearborn. Jewish people are terrified of coming to Dearborn. I've talked to multiple Jewish people who said that. Also, my fear was justified. I said he's spreading violence. He could be interpreted as spreading violence in Michigan. And then a few months later, somebody attacked a synagogue full of 140 small children in West Bloomfield. So these are legitimate concerns. At the same time, I'm embarrassed with Jake Lang's so-called Christianity, this fake Christianity, which many people have said. I hope this doesn't put my Muslim friends off Christianity, because that's not real Christianity. Christ
You have 30 seconds remaining.
represents love. I do want to say just a couple more things. First of all, I'm not racist, and I want to discourage that as well. I have dear Arab friends. I was speaking in Arabic church on this weekend. And the last thing I want to say, giving credit where it's due, is when we had an Israeli Jewish man who came to Dearborn, to Peace Park West, I appreciate how when there was a threat and I contacted the FBI, the Dearborn police came out in full force to protect him, to speak about the tragic loss of his son who was murdered in Washington, D.C., and he spoke in love and in compassion to people in Dearborn who are experiencing loss. So I want to give credit where it's due to the Dearborn police and the Dearborn government for helping in that situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Clerk, is there any more cards? No more cards. All right, that time we will conclude our public comment portion. Is there a motion to adjourn? Your motion by Councilman Aswaki.
Did you put a curtain?
Yeah, I went to go get it to Red Time. It's too late.
Taking a look outside the weather sphere walls, we are seeing those clouds increasing, and they're going to continue increasing as we move through the evening hours. Right now, we are still seeing temperatures in the low 80s. Still pretty warm out there, 82. Pretty much down near Trenton, Detroit, and 81 in Monroe. We're seeing 79 in Brighton, starting to cool off a bit out there. Now, taking a look at what we are expecting to see, here's a look at the next weather futurecast. We're seeing these storms moving over from the west. They've already crossed Lake Michigan. They're moving into the state, and we are seeing them as storms over in Wisconsin. Could see a few storms on the west side of the state, but really we are expecting to see mostly rain when they make it to our area. Now, parts of Livingston and Lapeer and Sanilac County could see a few isolated storms pop up, mainly in the form of some thunder or an isolated wind gust. We're really not expecting much in the way of severe weather overnight tonight. But here's what we are tracking next. Now I'm going to show you the next weather futurecast here because, again, we're going to see these showers move in through the overnight hours, but clearing out pretty much by morning, leaving us with just a few straggler raindrops and some clouds for the morning hours. And then we're going to see those clouds start to clear out as well. There's a slight chance we could see just a few more raindrops in the afternoon, but really expecting mostly dry conditions, and we're going to see those conditions sticking around for the rest of the week. We are going to see cooler high temperatures, though. Our high temperatures for tomorrow in the upper 70s, down in the low 80s, and taking a look at the dew points, it's going to be much more comfortable out there. We're still feeling just a tad sticky when we step outside. Those dew points are going to be dropping after that cold front that is bringing those showers moves through, and we are looking at much more comfortable conditions for the end of the week. That is until Saturday. We're going to feel that. We're going to feel those dew points start to rise again as we head towards Saturday. That is our next chance of seeing some showers and storms. Unfortunately, on and off.